2014, all the war crimes that were accused against Ukraine are being levied on Russia as such. The European Union is also pretending that it has given $1 billion to Ukraine.
Empezó la guerra, le hemos dado 35.000 millones de euros. Compárenlo con los 1.000 millones que les hemos dado para armarles a los ucranianos. Esta gigantesca diferencia debe señalar también la necesidad de llevar a la práctica lo que el Consejo Europeo nos ha ordenado: disminuir la dependencia energética, y en eso la Comisión ejercerá sin duda su liderazgo proponiendo las acciones necesarias para ello.
Ukraine, but still Ukraine is now willing to make it an independent state at the behest of Russia. Secondly, the eyes of Ukrainian people have also been opened when they saw that now there is no benefit of joining NATO as the damage is already done. The reasons behind the beginning of 2014 and 2022 wars are the same. The permanent mission of the Russian Federation have alleged that Ukraine's military is committing war crimes. The kind of pictures you are seeing over these two regions for last 2-3 days are exactly the same photos were published in 2014 by Russia against Ukraine, which can be proven by already existing files. In December 2021, Putin again said that genocide was happening in the Donbass war zone region. They have to do something to elevate this. The time passes by from December to February, and the Western media published a news that would Russia recognize the independence of the two eastern Ukraine republics. The issue was that in these regions, the Russian-speaking people were highest in these regions, and their only demand was that they should get good amount of salary, and it didn't matter to them in which country they were going to merge with. Both these region of Ukraine used to allege that since they speak Russian, partiality is done to them, leaving them on a very low amount of salary. Luhansk and Luhansk region, which together are called as Donbass, here only 10% of population is Ukrainian, but its share in GDP is very much higher. In Germany's official media DW News, we can clearly see that significance of Donbass region is very high for Ukraine because this is the industrial heartland of Ukraine. If the region is removed from Ukraine, then there would be nothing left in Ukraine. This region becomes even more significant part of Ukraine because without this part of country, it's virtually bankrupt. For a very long period of time, there is no development in Ukraine due to the instability there. They get a lot of funds from outside, including the politics of other countries in there, causing much more instability. The human toll of the Russian-Ukraine conflict since 2014 is as follows. Approximately 14,000 people have been killed in the conflict. More than 3,000 of them were civilians according to the United Nations. Russia and other separatists allege that atrocities are taking place here from the side of Ukraine, and as we remember, a Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 en route from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur was traveling over conflict-hit Ukraine on 17 July 2014 when it disappeared from radar. A total of 283 passengers, including 80 children and 15 crew members, were on board. If such incident happens inside the separatist area, then it becomes very easy to blame all the crime on them by accusing them. This plane took off from Netherlands as it was crossing Ukraine. As soon as it reached Donetsk, a missile attack took place. Ukraine, without any delay, immediately accused separatists of this. But separatists here handed over the flight recorder of this flight over to Russia, and further Russia gave it to the private jet company who can evaluate it easily. However, this flight recorder does not reveal anything. The intention of the separatists becomes clear here, that they are cooperating and maybe they are telling the truth. All the jets are in the whole world are mainly comprises of two companies, the Boeing company of US and Airbus company of UK, which is about 90% plus jets. And under them, there was an international investigation team. which immediately blamed Russia, saying that missile system belonged to Russian brigade. The Russian firm that manufactures Buk missiles then insisted the device was a model no longer used by Russian forces and told them to their own investigation showed that it has been fired from Ukrainian controlled territory and not from any separatist region. Few reports also show that missile fire belonged to Ukraine as they were expecting Putin's plane to pass by. But mistakenly, or we can say unfortunately, they exterminated the Malaysian passenger plane. Ukraine could have killed Putin, blaming others for that. But the things went sideways and common people died. All 298 people on board, most of them were citizens of Netherlands, died in the crash. The situation is that Ukraine does not have any control over the Donbass region and Russia does not claim it either. But still, according to international rules, the territory of Ukraine is considered till there. Now, if a flight crashes here, Ukraine has to be compelled to do its investigation. If Ukraine is obliged, then it has to go in this region and it won't be welcomed there, and this issue can be internationalized. The flight was from Malaysia and departed from Netherlands and had fallen in the territory of Ukraine. The separatists does not matter here. This could be a matter of putting pressure on them. Or maybe the separatists killed intentionally. Nothing can be known as both are blaming each other. The point is that Ukraine is very dependent on these regions, and if Russia snatches it from Ukraine, it would go bankrupt. 10% population of Ukraine and about 25% of GDP depends on this Donbass area, and several billions of dollars are dependent on gas transit by Russia. Zelensky gave many statements from the very first day, but not even once did he give the statement that he would not allow the gas of Russia to pass here to Europe. A lot of charity is done on behalf of Western countries to Ukraine through various NGOs. It's believed that by using Ukraine, Western countries, especially US, is targeting Russia. But here the whole matter is contrary. From the first day of war, a huge amount of sanctions are imposed on Russia, whereas the reality is that even today they have not applied any kind of gas sanctions on Russia, and every day $1 billion is being paid to Russia. In reality, even Zelensky would never want to stop importing Russian gas. On 17 February 2022, Western media was asking whether Russia would consider these two territories as independent countries or not. On February 21, Russia declared these two places independent nations and after that sent their forces there to help them so that Ukraine won't try to oppress them like the atrocities seen in the past. They were talking about the same atrocities that Russia has been accused by Ukraine in 2014. As in from previous 3 to 4 days, some allegations were being leveled against Russia from many places. India is once again pressurized to stop importing energy from Russia. But India already said that when they are paying $1 billion per day to Russia, then why should India stop a deal of few billions? Guys, this is for today. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe my channel. We will meet again with another interesting topic. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.